He's not doing enough.
shoot at people as they're waiting in line for humanitarian aid. Dozens of people
I am yelling on a screen.
literally every single day.
Without further ado, it's the writer's room. So we're gonna do an episode of Murderbot. We're in a writer's room here, Soccer. So we're gonna start with pitches.
Absolutely, yeah. This is our writer's room segment, as Phil said. We will have 2 pitches each, and we'll throw them around for a couple minutes, and then we'll pick one to do an outline.
Soccer, what's your first pitch as the guest?
I don't know if they're gonna fit the stuff because I don't know where Murderbot is gonna go from here. Since
If you would rather one of us go first, we can.
No, I just want to pitch this hopefully because I have a feeling somebody else is going to pitch it. Just because of
I have
Murderbot's,
one of those too.
just because of Murderbot's love for Sanctuary Moon, and now the dude can decide to do whatever they want, and based on shared experience, Murderbot decides to become a writer, a TV writer.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's so funny.
I even think actor could maybe work here.
Yeah.
So like he's trying to get into the concept of like what it means to be a human through like that. So if he's in it, then he can do it, sort of deal.
Because it kind of ended where Murderbot doesn't know who they are or what they want, and I'm just thinking if there's something constant throughout the season, is that's the only thing they love, enjoy to do, watch, or what have you. It's their happy spot.
This could tie into one of my pitches, and I won't go into it yet. This could potentially be very disillusioning for him, like breaking the bounds between fantasy and reality.
Yeah, for sure.
And how to reconcile that.
For sure. And then it could be the writer's take on how it is hard or difficult to navigate the industry, but through a dystopian society, like the problems
That's
remain.
so funny. Yeah, that's funny.
We'll call season 2 Writerbot.
Writerbot, that's hilarious.
What if he just accidentally got circled into being a PA?
I was just gonna say that,
and then he became an actor, and then he just accidentally keeps getting his way up. He's not even trying to be promoted. He just
so it's like
they love him.
It's like a sci-fi becoming Chance. It's like Becoming Chance, right? Like sci-fi, the Peter Sellers film where it's the guy's a gardener.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that film. What is that one about?
It's literally it's the same premise.
I'm gonna go with yes. It sounds like it'll make me sound smart. Yes. And he's seeing all these different experiences, like a producer being abusive to the other PAs or being sus with the actresses.
Yeah.
I'm going to hook onto this one and do my pitch because this is very similar to my pitch, including the disillusionment and all of that. Mine was not that he becomes a writer or gets on the show, but he goes to a Sanctuary Moon fan convention. And it is that is how he becomes disillusioned, ostensibly, rather than being in the working and doing it. It's being there and seeing that they are not who they were.
Oh my God. That's oh my God, that's kind of I don't know if there's a moment like that or whatever, but do you know how in high school you had that favorite song or band that meant the world to you, and then you found this obnoxious person who you hated in high school? It turns out that they had that song written on their backpack or something. You're like, I can't listen to this song again. I don't know if he can have a meet Murderbot can have a meet like this.
Yeah, me's an obnoxious fan who ruins Sanctuary Moon for him. Because then that's really fun too. It's well, what does this say about me? Which is part of the becoming, right? It's just how could we see the same thing in the same project, but be so different? I love it. That's very fun.
I feel like the end of this, we could have a very nice scene where it's that Thanos moment where he's sitting and just smiling, and Murderbot has learned how to balance, separate art from artists.
Wait. So what do you mean art from art? Are you saying he reaches that conclusion if even if the artist is bad but their art is good, we can continue listening to it?
Yeah, death of the artist, right?
It's the same thing of okay. Can you still like the Cosby Show?
Yeah, you're not a lot of people are going to be so happy with how it's going to go.
I'm just saying, that would be a nice lesson for him to learn.
No, it would be amazing, but I'm just telling you, this. Oh my God. But then you're okay. So then this ties into the disillusionment and then that's going to be the arc for that season of kind of like going like him, Murderbot finding the happy spot, like his safe, their safe spot or its safe spot,
Right.
after knowing the darkness and the
Yeah,
that'd be
Well, I think this is a fertile area, so I think that we can even like kind of bang it out too.
Could I add one more to the show one? I want to see him argue with the showrunner who's
Yeah,
breaking world or doing something contradictory. Like, it doesn't match what they've already done, or like he's ruining the story, like if he goes in a different direction. I just want an argument with the showrunner over the story.
Ooh, that one is good. Or for example,
And Murderbot's right.
he's a PA fly on the wall in a writer's room, and they're just seeing them like destroy.
Oh,
his
that's
baby.
really good. Yeah, then he can't control it. That's funny. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's
Or the
a
fact
good
that
height.
He's learning how to be in a situation where he's not the strongest.
Yeah.
Or he finds out that the showrunner never watched the previous sequels and he just got put on.
So that's good on that. So Brian, what's your pitch for?
I was gonna save this for the end, but since we're on this, I'll do my other one last, so I don't crush the momentum. I was going to say, like, the ending that I see as potentially possible here is because you have this figure going from place to place, learning about the power structures and how they're hurting people, and like learning that he can be their protector. Does Murderbot eventually lead the revolution? Final season? Does he overthrow the corporation?
I dig that. I like that.
People
I like
will
any
follow
revolutionary action. Yes.
Yeah. I that's how I had to get the pitch out before you got to it. Because, like, people would follow him. I don't think Murderbot would seek out this road, but the moment might choose him.
Yeah, that's funny. Both of you did versions of what pitches that I had. I mean, as mine was that he uses like a sanctuary moon to encourage and rally people in, like, I did it as an uprising, but like in a mining community, and being able to distinguish fiction versus reality in order to accomplish an end was ostensibly kind of the angle that I hit it at.
I mean, I kind of think we're kind of getting at a final season arc here.
Yeah.
I mean, the challenge of this one is like, how do we get Murderbot in that situation? Because we don't have all the other characters, because people would
They can come back.
Argument I'm making.
The characters can come back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
the characters come back in the book. So
no, that's what I'm saying. Is like when the moment does choose Murderbot and it's time for him to rise, people will come to him. People will stand behind him, but we don't know who all those people are yet. That's what I mean. So like, how do we, like, what is going to set Murderbot off enough that it's time? Does he see like a town get destroyed because they attempted to unionize? Like, does he see, does the Doctor's home, their home world, does that get invaded?
Can I give a suggestion to that?
Please.
Murderbot falls in love with another bot that gets their memory erased. He finds another rogue bot that
that's really interesting.
And then a Murderbot tries their best to start, and then that what causes Murderbot to decide, you know what, screw this. I want to destroy the government controlled for every spot and let them choose what they want to be. I can't see Murderbot, at least right now, as a sentient that is willing to shoulder the full responsibility of the outcomes, not the moment, but the outcomes.
That's fair. And Murderbot does do things from Murderbot that Murderbot wants to do, and that's a really fair point. That like there has to be something that makes Murderbot want to help others, enable them to help themselves. That's a really excellent point and a good distinction.
The other motivator could also be that the corporation is seeing Murderbot build this power base, and they preemptively get things started by getting this girlfriend, by invading the alliance to make a point of like, you're not as strong, or to like make him feel weak or something like that, because he's building a power base. And he's becoming a threat, and fascists always attack first.
So are you saying this bot that Murderbot falls in love with is actually a spy, or is actually an agent sent by the corporation?
I'm not saying that, but that's okay with me. I'm not against that. That pitch was all you, my friend.
That's funny because that's how I'll be honest. So that's how I read it. That's how I read it. Your pitch as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
I was just saying that they are going to make what this also does is it makes Murderbot become defensive, not necessarily offensive, which gets us the moment choosing him because they decided to start making the moves.
Can I add another suggestion to this one? Man, like I have so many ideas.
Please.
What if, because Murderbot right now is rogue, right? And I just kind of feel like it would be very interesting to see a season or something like in this realm exactly where the moment chooses that maybe, just building off on the female robot or like whoever Murderbot is going to meet that is also rogue, but they have made their choices that are very different from Murderbot.
Yeah, if we do it from that angle, I feel like the way in is whether they're aspired or not is like I feel like you want to create the connection there. So it is a robot that is into Sanctuary Moon or it is into these soap operas. So on some level, Murderbot feels as though they found a kindred spirit, right? And like that is kind of the turning point that makes it like understanding the distinction and the difference when they thought that they were alone. Excuse me, they thought that they weren't alone, but then it turns out they're on their own, but potentially they aren't because just like hell, happiness is also other people.
Yeah. No. That's brilliant. Whoo! That's a lot to unpack in this, Brian. Oh my God. Because I'm thinking like, what if like a plot twist in order to trick, like, let's say Murderbot into like, falling in love with this female robot. They did a specific like government control where they're making some bots 99.99999% rogue, but there's only that little 1% that they can always flip back. So they kind of use this female robot to do exactly, and then Murderbot finds out. So then he's like, oh, so it's not really rogue, or she is actually rogue, or they are rogue, but they chose this path to catch other rogues.
I like that too. I like that.
I like that a lot better. She sides with the corporation. She thinks they're correct. She has a paycheck and a Bugatti.
Hilarious. Space Bugatti. Hold on. I'm gonna do Space Bugatti. I don't know how to spell Bugatti though.
I like that she sides with the corporation. That I think is cool. It's such a tough conundrum for him to deal with because this is a kindred spirit he found, and now he's going to have to reckon with some people suck. He's learned to trust, and now he's learning why not to trust.
Great. What's your next? I love this, by the way. What's your next pitch?
We just got 2 more pitches left.
I mean, that one wasn't going to be that deep. It was kind of an idea. It like Murderbot meets on the mining or somewhere else, meets a person that's his actual, that has the same, the doppelganger, like the same appearance. I just thought it would be kind of interesting just to see how Murderbot would want to react. Because if they want to go for uniqueness or individualism, like they're like, okay, I want to murder this. Or for example, like, oh, they're me, right? And then it's kind of like what it means to kind of like see something that looks exactly like you, but, on the inside have different thoughts or different mannerisms or whatever it is.
My pitch on this would be, I kind of like the idea of him like, oh, he looks like me. That's awful. But then he starts to kind of like him.
That's
and
funny.
It becomes like a big brother, little brother situation. That's something that I could see him accidentally falling into, not actually wanting it to begin with. And like the other guy could also like not want anything to do with Murderbot at first, but then they both like each other. Like they reluctantly like each other.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do that with this you can even do the thing we were talking about with Ladybot. And have this person choose the corporation too. That could also work because that is the sort of like reflection of oneself sort of thing. What is identity?
Or it could be a kind of a Prince and the Pauper situation, right? Where like the person that looks like him is like, has this.
Is it a human that looks like him?
That I don't know, because it could be interesting on both ways. Because let's say,
that
for example, it's a very successful. I don't know. We're like let's choose.
He becomes a baker.
Maybe.
Oh, I kind of want him to have like a simple job. Like I want to see Murderbot like sweeping a concession stand or something like that. Like I don't know. I want him like flipping burgers. Like that's funny to me.
What about a painter? Like an artist, like something, like we're talking maybe like the Da Vinci or whatever it is, like of that universe. And then that guy's like, okay, if he puts Murderbot instead, and the other guy just wants to go out and discover the world. We're trying to see what Murderbot discovers what it is to create art and what resonates.
I also think he thinks art's dumb, but maybe he.
I don't know if he thinks.
I don't think he thinks that
art
is like.
I don't think he thinks that art. I mean, I think he I think he sees Sanctuary Moon as art. I think that he appreciates creativity.
What about Baker? Like also like I don't know, closer to Brian, like the whole Baker thing, because like I don't know, the Murderbot doesn't know what flavor is. Let's say.
Well, what I'm hearing from all of this is
Banker's funny too. I know you wrote that by accident. Funny.
Wait, did you say banker? Oh, no, you said Baker.
You wrote a Baker. It just
no, I meant Baker. No, I just mistyped.
Banker's funny too.
The Baker is funny, but I know it is. I'm going to go on this. We'll go to Banker in a half second. The thread that I'm hearing from those sorts of things is Murderbot learns what it means to create, not destroy, and I think that that's a really interesting aspect.
Oh, that's really good.
Like that's
really
that's
good.
the thread, like for those sorts of things with art, baking, any like how do you create? And so let's go to Banker as well.
Becomes a banker, learns how to destroy a different way.
That's funny.
Like, actually, you know what would work for that? For the banker?
I'm listening.
You guys see The Incredibles?
I
The
have.
scene where Bob is super mad at his boss because he's getting ripped a new one because all of his clients know how to properly get their insurance benefits. And then the dude's like, but what about the shareholders, Bob? Who's thinking about them? And then Bob's getting super angry because there's a mugging that he can't get to because this guy's yelling at him about shareholders. I feel like you could easily find the essence of that scene with Murderbot. Like, Murderbot's trying to, like, be a good community banker, and this person's yelling at him like, no, you need to do these financial tricks and get the money out of them this way.
Can I say something close to this also? Murderbot becomes a real estate agent. Because he's got to sell houses, but the houses are terrible and they're not up to standard or the code or whatever it is. But he's got to make a living. I don't know, something close to this.
Right.
What's your pitch, Brian?
We got him in Funny Jobs. Okay.
Yeah.
So my second pitch is, I was thinking about it, and sometimes you do homage, sometimes you do things, and I was like thinking like Murderbot is the perfect candidate if you wanted to do an homage to Seven Samurai. Like, you could easily put him in a story where he finds this village that keeps getting raided and he has to get 6 other people to help him defend it. That's the pitch.
What is the motivation you think that would make him want to help these people? What do you think that would be so endearing or so moving about the situation that make him get out of his own way of finding himself into, or that's the resolution that he finds that that's what I meant to do.
I think that's a fair question, Soccer. What it could be, let's do a Sodom and Gomorrah allegory here, in that like he goes there and he thinks that they all suck. Like, and he's not going to do it. And like, it's like, it is increasingly, he thinks these people suck, but he finds that one person, and that one person, I don't even think like Sanctuary Moon. I think they like a minor one, and he gets into like a debate. It could be like a little kid or something like that, right? A hope for the future. And it's like, well, I don't know. I like Quantum Without, and they're like, Quantum Without is like fine, but blah, blah, blah. And then he goes like, the kid explains it, and they have like a whole debate. And like the kid actually explains to him why Quantum Without is great, and he gains appreciation, and he goes like, well, if this colony of losers could create someone this clever, like, or this thoughtful, then maybe they're worth saving.
I like that a lot. And if I can add one thing, I would say, what if he does reject the proposition of protecting the village, like it's not my job, and then he sees the consequences of not protecting them, and is like, "Oh, this is kind of my fault." Like,
well,
I
feel that's different though. So you're saying that that's a different angle on it. Is that correct?
It is. I was hoping we could harmonize them because I also want to pitch mine, but I like both of ours.
In a writer's, that's a key thing for a writer's room. Be sure, if you're going to like try and pitch your idea, make sure that to piggyback off of another one, be sure that it actually piggybacks.
I'm sorry.
That's a writer's room no, because the showrunner will see that.
Oh, did I do a no?
That is a no. Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I add something to Brian's, the house people from getting slaughtered? Just a thought that came to mind. Since already season 1 established that Dr. Mensa and that group is his favorite human beings, and he's on his own quest. Later on in a season, he finds out that there's a plan to destroy the Preservation Alliance. Like, they're about to destroy them. And that's when he, starts on that mission. He decides, like, out of my own volition, that I'm going to protect them. Unless you want to have a new community, new planet, new town for him.
No, I like that he goes back. No, I like that he goes back. Yeah, goes back to save the Alliance nerds. No, I like that because then you have the fun of like him having to go back and deal with the people that he kind of abandoned, and like what is their relationship with that? Do they feel abandoned by him? Like how are they reconciling? Dr. Mensa, right? Like I think that's very cool. That's very fertile. Do you let's extrapolate on he makes a mistake and gets slaughtered, and people get slaughtered and his fault. Like what kind of angle would we want to do that from? Like it's not his job sort of. You said, Brian?
Yeah, I was thinking about it from like a not my job sort of thing. Like it just reminds me of like Spider-Man. Like if you see something and you have the power to stop it and you choose not to, it happens. You're a part of it. And I thought that'd be a great lesson for him to learn.
I agree. I think we got some really great stuff. These are phenomenal pitches, Brian.
We do.
And like you always have good pitches,
Yeah.
but these are really fun. The thing that I'm finding really fun about this one,
Except for that,
that was still a good pitch though. That was a good pitch. You just didn't let it stand on its own. You could have said, "I like that." So actually, this is good for our aspiring writers. The way to say that is, "I like that area. I do have a different perspective on it," and you do then you say your pitch. That's how you do it.
I do have a different angle for
That's a great way of putting it. That's excellent.
Yeah.
That is excellent. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's how you navigate that sort of situation. Because like what you don't want is you don't want to come off like you don't care about other people's ideas. All you want is to do yours. That's not what you were doing. What you were doing was saying like, I like that.
It could come across.
Yeah, exactly. I like that area. I have another angle on it, and going into his pitch, because his pitch was good of like, it's my fault. Like I did this and sort of thing. But like what you want to do is like, don't piggyback, because then it makes it look like you're just cynically doing something so that you can get your idea in, which is not what he was doing. It did inspire him, and he said it. But that it could come off that way in a writer's room. That's all.
So let's say if, like in this situation, if one of us would have done
me as showrunner, right?
Committed the sin.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're the showrunner. What would I have said that would have been like committing the sin?
So I sincerely was trying to reconcile both the ideas because I liked Phil's a lot. I didn't want to lose it. So I was trying to like yes and it, and it just looked odd.
Okay.
And what I should have done is like, that's a great pitch. Here's one more angle for us to consider, but I do really love your pitch.
Right.
That's
because like because the sin, and it's not a sin, it just is. It is how it is. This is how the room goes. Is when we're in ideation, right? The sin, if you want to call it that, it's like they were saying to the fact of like, yeah, and going off of that and like that, and then he said something that was completely different, and like it was not, and it didn't line up. Even if he had said like, and maybe we can reconcile the two, like so that's all, and it wasn't. That's not, but that happens in creation. And this is not a thing of like Brian is bad or he said the thing the wrong way. This is a thing of these sorts of things happen in writers' rooms, and this is how you can navigate these situations so you don't fall into that trap to begin with, right?
That's the only reason I'm asking, just because I do not want to do this ever. So
right.
I mean,
no, we should.
I did it for you.
So,
because the point is this: like the writers' rooms, so everyone knows too. Writers' rooms are like it is like It is like you're navigating, and the industry in general is you have to navigate nuances. It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like the funny thing about Curb Your Enthusiasm is he always messes up, but he doesn't know why. And it's because like it is the most hyper social thing ever, and you cannot mess up but still mess up, right? Brian didn't mess up. Like he didn't do a bad thing. Like, and that's like, and I think that's the key thing, because what we do is we kind of like, oh man, why did I do that? The point, the distinction is that it was a different idea, and the distinction was not made. That's the key.
Okay.
Now, I will say also, that happens in any professional writer, any writer who's not petty, any showrunner that's not petty, will know that that's how that happens. Will know, especially when you have a newer writer, an up and coming writer, right? The best thing that one can do is let it go and keep going and just make that pitch the best it can be, which is what Brian did, by the way. So Brian did the right thing in that, like, when it was said, like, okay, it's distinct, it's different, what do you have with it? He demonstrated that it wasn't just his idea. Like, he wasn't just trying to do it because it was his idea. He was trying to do it because it was a fun, exciting thing that he felt that would build out the project. And that's how you erase all of that. Because at the end of the day, they only care about getting the good idea so they can get it done, so they can go home to their families. So that's all. Is that
Yeah, no, I mean, can I just say I just loved the last 10 minutes. I think that's like, I mean, as much as I loved everything else, but the last 10 minutes were probably, I don't know, so enlightening. I don't know if any people, for the people watching out there, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it's a great.
I was hoping to cut the mistake from the video,
No,
but
I think
now
you
it
should
looks
name
like
it
I'm getting
Brian Does a
screwed.
Mistake. Like that's the name of
Brian has an oopsie. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the point. Wait, like, Brian, too, do you know how many screw ups I have done? You know what I'm saying? I have been in writer's room since 2012. I've been a professional working writer since 2018. Do you know how many mess ups, oopsies, screw ups like I have done? I have made a complete tit of myself, as the British would say. So like that's why we do this here, right? So that this is a safe space so that the up and coming writers will understand like why things are as they are, and so they're not left out in the cold going, why did this happen? I think that even your premise on the show is like to give people these tools so that they will be able to be the best that they can possibly. And part of that is showing that we're not perfect. I ain't perfect. I mess up all the time.
Yeah, small mistake.
Yeah.
This is going to be the one the showrunner considering hiring me sees, and it was like, nope.
Well, just make it up to the showrunner the rest for every episode after. Like, I mean, that's it. It's a marathon, not a race. It is a marathon, and one thing doesn't sink you. That's the other thing to remember. One flub in the writer's room does not sink you.
100%.
Man, a lot more people should watch this show, man.
From your lips to
That's
God's
what
ears.
I'm saying. Remote, hit subscribe. Everyone hit subscribe.
Well, alrighty. This is great. Thank you.
Yeah, we should pivot back.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian's like, please pivot back. Can we please pivot back? No. I'm going to make the call. These are the two areas that I like. I like the area of him somehow coming in contact with Sanctuary Moon and getting disillusioned from that. And I like the area of him meeting a robot or a person that looks like him and understanding the distinction. I think that we both really like, all three of us really like them. And I think that those are like really fertile. So I would like to do one of the two of those. I will say if we do the show one, the challenge is we cannot make it too in the weeds because people don't care. Like it can't just be about working on a television show, right? Like
I'm also concerned that it will feel a little fanficky.
It could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so then that's fair. Then let's do he meets a ladybot. I don't know. I do like he meets the ladybot and she turns out to be corporate
Does
because
it have to be a ladybot?
it doesn't have to be. But I did like the idea. What it does have to have is the space Bugatti. That's all. That's my must-have. Is the space Bugatti.
I'm also trying to think of like, so she's not going to attack him outright, right? Because she's collecting information, I assume. Like
We're
why it's
blue
not an
sky.
assassination.
We're blue skying here. It could be that, sure.
Because I'm just trying to think of like, she's going to be upgraded. Why does she just not go for the kill shot when she has the chance?
Good question. So from that conjecture, then it should be a decision that she makes. We can also say that she is wrestling with her own humanity. Part of what we built up in this is like she makes a decision, she makes a choice, and she chooses the corporation over what Murderbot has chosen. So, I mean, we can even say that she has free will, and maybe she was sent to assassinate, and then she grows, and then she goes, you know what? I'd rather just get my bag. Like, I'd rather have fun. And I think that could be an interesting angle for that.
What if she was already a celebrity, or it was already a celebrity? So maybe like it's the first openly rogue sentient being that's like celebrated, right? And she's the talk of the town, and he finds out about this character, about her, and then he's gravitated, and maybe that could be the whole act or the ploy where she. It's kind of a little bit of a Notting Hill kind of situation, a little bit, I don't know.
What if she was the first? What if she's the first robot to be on Sanctuary Moon?
Like no, like the first rogue. No, like actually she's celebrated as the first rogue bot or something like that. It's a sentient being that was put in this position that's celebrated. It's like the face for all bots and all that kind of stuff. And then he just falls in love with this as a fan or whatever.
I like it.
I had a pitch that's a slightly different angle than this, than what we've
learned.
spoken of, but
my boy is learning. Go ahead.
So we have this assassin that why does she not take out Murderbot right away? What if Murderbot's not the target? What if
that's
it's
interesting.
Dr. Hannah and Murderbot can get her to the doctor?
I like.
It can be Murderbot's fault as to why she was able to pull off the assassination, because she was the one building power and Murderbot inherits it.
Okay,
So
I
you're-
like that. Go ahead, Soccer.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. So you're saying she was using him to get to a person.
The doctor, his favorite human, I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
Dr.
but
Mensah.
he was Dr. Mensah. So so she was using Murderbot to get to Dr. Mensah.
Yes, in order to get the assassination.
Whoa.
He's not going to be able to. Yeah,
I can see the moment
and
of the
it
heartbreak.
works. Yeah,
Oh.
it works.
I like
Gonna be
that.
so-
I don't think that Dr. Mensah should get assassinated, but I do like that angle.
Too cynical for you, Phil?
That's hilarious. No, I don't want. I just don't. I think it's too much of a go-to to kill off a main character. You have to be careful when you kill off characters, and that to me that gets into a little bit of the fan fiction thing of like, what if we just killed Dr. Mensah?
Okay. Does the hit at least land so we can feel a little guilty?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
No, she can get.
Good.
She can get.
That I'm happy.
She can get effed up. No. What is it? There's an. It's in classic. That classic film, The Return of Jafar. You'd be surprised what you could. Aladdin: Return of Jafar. You'd be surprised what you can live through.
Okay. I think it's logical that Brian chose Dr. Mensah only because the show so far did not establish any other persons that are emotionally or moved him besides that. But I would say probably since he's going to a mining facility or whatever, just to add to Brian's story. What if he finds another new favorite person in this show? Right? Sorry to use profanity. Like what? Like I'm just trying to create a persona for this person that their death or their assassination would be huge. So because we know right now
I like that.
he's going to the mining facility, correct? And then and it's very ironic because that was the place where he escaped from, and he's going to. So what if he finds let's say a doctor who's been also like on the run or has been sent there and like having like an underground revolution, trying to set up the roots and whatever it is, and he's very optimistic, and then Murderbot gets a connection with that person or whatever, and is very amused by it, and then that could be the person that gets killed off, let's say, or is the target of the assassination.
How does that work for you, Brian? How does that work in your? I do like that.
I'm open to it. So, like, I guess it depends on where in the timeline that we put it. Because if we want it to be as like his final season arc, I think it's not his favorite human, because there's emotional significance to his favorite human, and that's why I think. But
I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be its final season arc, and you're right, because that is a thing. You're absolutely right. I don't want it to be his final season arc because I don't want to say like this is how we would write your show. So I would rather it be in the process of the show than its final season, just specifically. Though I think that you're right on that, in that is how it should go for like a final season arc. Absolutely, 100%, 110%.
Yeah. And another reason why I wouldn't want it to be the final arc, this one at least, just because I want to see Murderbot grow after experiencing a first heartbreak. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but like I remember my first breakup didn't go so well, right? Lasted like a long several year journey to me get over that.
That's so good.
From the Murderbot perspective.
That's so funny too, because his first love is like, because they say they have sex bots, so like his first love turns out to be an assassin bot, and I think that that's a really cool and like grounded human thing of like, oh, my first girlfriend turned out to be mean. Like, I think that's really kind of brilliant, to be honest with you. So.
I'm down. Let's go.
And I do like too, Brian, that he sees it as his fault, like because so what we'll have to do for that is we have to build in some red flags into the narrative itself that we, the audience, can see, but that he is deciding to ignore, so that we can like make it land for him. What's up?
If I can bring your kid back from the other pitch, he could be the one that they bonded over the TV show and whatnot. Maybe his parent is the assassin's target or something like that. But maybe the kid keeps talking about...
This is my favorite part, Soccer. Brian will just like Brian will just like do a friggin' home run because then he's ruined it for the kid, the one person he liked. I love that. That is so brilliant, Brian. That is so mwah, that is just that sort of thing is what it's what makes up for the other thing. That's so good.
Oh my god, it should be. Oh my god, you should do. Oh my god, hopefully it's not a trilogy, it's only two moments, so it could be like kind of like, you know, the fall of Brian and the return
of the king. He has risen.
I wanted to cut this out of the video, but you guys have made it impossible.
Oh, you're killing it. Okay, so I
actually, I'm glad you got very excited, but there was going to be a second part to that pitch.
Let's go.
Or maybe I stopped digging. Do I do the other?
No.
Let's
do it. Let's see. No, I want to see.
I was just going to say the kid could also be like those red flags that you keep talking about. The kid can be the one pointing them out.
Let's go. Yes.
And like Murderbot's like, you're a child. What do you mean?
And they debate, and the kid debates it through the show.
Yes.
Like, and
I do love that the debate is this kid's like adorable feature. I really like that a lot.
Yeah, no, you did it, Brian. You plussed it, so you're in the stratosphere now. The past is a distant
idea.
The past is a distant memory now. You did too. Go ahead, Soccer.
What I absolutely love about the choice of the kid, Brian, I don't know if you explained it, but I mean, it's brilliant, is that when it comes to the journey of self-realization and understanding who I'm, you know, my identity, both of them are going through the same journey.
Yes, that's so true.
Which is brilliant, because then actually I can see more meaningful conversations happening between Murderbot and the kid.
I feel like preteen would probably be the best stage. So
That's
that
fine.
like we're not doing the overly smart 6-year-old. They can have a little bit of knowledge in their noggin.
So you don't want them to be precocious. You want them to be like a legit like kid. Okay, I agree with that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And then if we stick with them for several seasons, wouldn't it be very awkward that, you know, 2 years, 3 years from now, like, you know, like they grew up so fast.
Right.
For the sake of this episode, are we going to assume he's already met the child? Because you would also be introducing the child, the parent, and the assassin lady in the same episode, if not. Would we want to assume that he already met the other two?
That's a good question. Maybe we can come in a little bit in medias res, and because we're going to need to meet the kid.
Let's pretend I don't know what that means.
Great question. Great question.
I'm going to say I don't know it.
In medias res means like in the middle of the action. So like basically that's like if you start and the story is already going on, like that's in medias res. And so like we can start with him like because they do cold opens, to your point. Yes. And we can start with him at like, what are we saying? I do like her being like a celebrity, even like a celebrity on this mining colony. The corporation just pays these robots to like entertain people. Like they have sex bots. So like it's a little bit flexible on what type of robot she is, right?
Could be shooting on location.
I think it'll make it more difficult if she's already a celebrity and she's kind of like on this undercover mission.
That's fair. Then who is she?
No, I'm just saying it might complicate.
That's fair. No, that's fine. I agree with that. Who are you pitching she is in this ecosystem?
What about it's a third world like mining community and she is like an aid worker. That is her alias.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It fits the whole CIA undertones.
Yeah.
If it's the CIA. If it's the CIA overtones and like he can have conversation about him about helping humans and all that, that's very good. Okay, so
the kid can be like, we don't trust the aid people, and be like, but they're here to help.
Yeah, I can just see a scene where like she's like, you know, this miner got injured and he's taken this miner, putting the miner on a cot, and then she's kind of like checking and like delicately fixing stuff, and then maybe that's the moment where he's like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, because his ability is to destroy, hers is to heal. Or at least so he thinks.
So she claims. So, okay. So let's start with the cold open, because they do cold open. So my pitch for the cold open is that we see this mining camp. We see them toiling. We got to set this up. I think we do even see the aid worker, though we don't say that she's a robot yet. Like, we can just kind of allude to her. And then we see that one of the miners working is Murderbot.
I like it. I kind of want to see him eating his lunch. I don't know why I find that interesting. I feel like him doing the mundane is super funny.
No, it is funny.
A moment when he's like, let's say eating whatever it is, and like, somebody's, and he kind of says something like, and she broke my heart. It's not callback. What is it when you called something to the future?
You're trying to start. Yeah, you're trying to start at the end.
Maybe because like if I want to just be as faithful as possible to the teaser in the first one, broke the what is it, the government control thing or whatever it is, and like and it was interesting because we're like, oh, I want to see what he's going to do next. So I'm just thinking like to keep it kind of like as interesting or captivating.
The question becomes, what's more interesting to the audience? That's a good point, because they do different types of cold opens. Sometimes they'll just do a shocker as they're going through it. And the question is, do we want to give away the twist? That goes into what sort of story are we trying to build? Because if we do it that, which is fine. But we can also, by the way, do another scenario where we kind of bury the lead a little bit and we show that, and it could say the kid's parent is killed and he said all of this because of a bad breakup or something like that, right? So like that's kind of the sort of thought that we have to have as we're constructing it. We don't want to bury the lead, but we don't want to give it away either. Brian Lee, you look like you have something you want to say?
To yes and this, what if we have it whereas we just show another mass shooting at a mining thing and him saying something along the lines of like, I'm not letting this happen again, or like, not again.
There's something there about that mass shooting, right? Because is he revisiting the same mining colony where that mass murder happened, and he, and we don't know yet if he did it or just a memory installed in his head?
Well, that could be the answer that he's trying to go get. That's a good point. That could be why he chose the mining place.
It can.
He wants to know if he did it.
The thing that we need to be careful of is we cannot make Murderbot too altruistic, because that goes against his character. Like he doesn't just do things because they're the right thing. He does because he learns, but like it always starts from a him thing.
What if, so back to your opening of like him mining, we see him as an average guy, we're like, why is he mining? And then maybe the shots evolve into we see he's scoping the place and he's just collecting information. Because I really like what Soccer said, like he went there to find answers and he's trying to be covert about it.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've come back to the place that it all started. Yeah, I think that's like really, I think that, because then he's reckoning with his past and all that. I think that's great. Yeah.
It's very visual also. I mean, just poof, poof, poof.
I could even see like a stubborn stone, like a big rock, and he's like, no, I swear. He has a stubborn rock that he can't break, and then he looks both ways, and then he blasts it.
Yes. I was just going to ask, is he acting right now as an augmented human, not as a bot, right? Because I'm pretty sure right now, like he's kind of like building this new identity, right?
Yeah. He's probably hiding the robot thing. That's why I like the look both ways.
Yeah.
And he can be like, he can like see the suffering and not really get it. Like they're acting weird.
I don't think he cares about the suffering. I think that's to set the scene.
It's strange that some people don't bathe here, but like they don't have water. Like
that's funny. Yeah.
After he blasts the rock, would it be interesting that since we just want to see a moment where we find out that he's actually scoping or scanning the area, would he find something that's like too weird or too strange or something that he didn't expect it to be there or expected something to be there and not there? How would you want to end the scene here? Whether it's a comment from him or it's an observation or something that he found something or couldn't find something or somebody was watching him already.
Well, for me, I just thought it was like a funny beat and I would just let it be. But I'm open to other ideas. Like
I do think that we let it be, but I think that we have him do like kind of a glib rejoinder that kind of goes to what you're talking about earlier, Soccer, about like, I'm about to get my heart broken and someone's going to, you know what I'm saying? Just something like that so that we can like tee up the audience. Because I do like what you said earlier about like, let's say some of what's going to happen. He said, I came here for answers, but instead I got heartbreak. And he goes,
I know I had one of those.
Right, yeah, there you go.
What if, instead, like, after the blasting, he goes back to, and it's just like really kind of like he's hitting the rocks hard, and then somebody shows up, just another miner, and he's like, "You can have a break now, man. The way you're mining, it's like somebody who just got out of a heartbreak," and then he could say something as in, You have no idea, or something like that. Whatever.
That's good. I like this. Let's do this. I want to make sure that it tracks. We probably have to do another scene because the kind of the reveal of him blasting the rock is that he's a robot. That would draw attention if a supervisor comes up then. That's fine. We can just cut scenes. That's fine. Like, so he's like finishing the day, let's say. And then we can do the supervisor because I like that. You look like a guy who just had his heart broken. And then he goes, that's true. And honestly, I didn't even know I had one, or something like that.
Oh, I like that he doesn't answer him.
Yeah, I love that.
I have a silly pitch that's more of like a runner, and feel free if there's too much happening to take it away. But I kind of imagine Murderbot going back to his little shack, and there's a space pet that's trying to be his pet, and Murderbot doesn't want him.
That's funny, yeah. So I think
Like
we can do that. We can open into I think we can open into Act 1 like that. I think that's really good.
He keeps trying to reject the pet, but the pet chose him, and Murderbot doesn't know that that's how it works. It's now your pet.
Yes, I think that we
He's
just
trying
do...
to get in his house.
Yeah, hilarious.
Sorry.
I think we do. I do think I hate montages, but I do think we do a montage. If we're saying he's already there, I think we do a montage of him like talking about how he came back and he's looking for answers. Let's leave it in the housing area here, and he talks about like, I don't know why this thing is around me. Like it's whatever. Like carbon-based life forms get really attached, much like humans. Like And then like the kid comes up and he says like, then we can have even the kid. He's like, and we'll have him say something to the effect of like, I came here for answers, blah blah blah. We see the town.
And all I got is a debate with this kid over his inferior favorite show.
That's it. Yeah. I dig that. Yeah.
The kid would be just like come out of nowhere, just pet it. He's like, why? It's like it doesn't do anything, and it'll just keep coming back for more. And then the kid could say something sly.
Yeah, I love that.
Back on the show thing, I another inside monologue. You can tell this child's uneducated by his choice of favorite programming.
Because funny enough, that's probably Murderbot's first experience we see on the show with a child, correct? Like so far, the entire show is adults mostly.
It is, yeah. What did you say, Brian? Did you say entertainment? I can't. I just don't remember what you said. Programming.
Forget.
Yeah, no, programming is better. No,
word.
No, programming is better because it's more computer-like.
Okay, great. So we montage it, and then
I think he gets stopped by the A-bot now. Go ahead.
is there? Yeah, I agree, but do we mention what's the point behind the assassination? Is it there's friction between this mining company and the corporation? This leader is preparing to have the union strike.
Yeah, I think that. I think it can be as simple as that. I think he's just like a union organizer.
That would be good. I like that labor politics. Okay. So then, yeah, we definitely got to introduce the aid worker at this point. We need a conversation. And I was going to pitch something funny, but I think where the better angle is the kid is going to be warning about aid workers in general. Of why the kid doesn't like this person.
Here's my question. Do we just say that she's an aid bot? I don't know. I don't think we need a real reveal for that, right? Because she wouldn't be hiding.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce just like after he meets the kid or something, just to introduce a little bit the father of the kid, since the father is the target? Where would you think is the best place just to introduce?
Yeah, that'll be in the montage. I agree.
Okay. Yeah. Because they could be there. Like, I was just thinking, just also for proximity, it would be funny if they're his neighbor.
I love that. Yeah.
He gets invited over for.
He steps out his door. The pet. Oh, he's overly friendly. The dad is way too friendly. I love that. And great idea, Soccer. That's so funny. Great. Every time he steps outside, or the kid or that pet's there. Awesome. Okay, so what is it like? He's walking by her like hut, and someone gets rushed in, or like someone's dragging another miner, and
that's fun.
He's just kind of staring, and maybe she yells at him to help her carry him.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, it's because a human's struggling to carry this guy. Some sort of machinery accident happened. And Murderbot gets roped into carrying the other unconscious guy.
There's something captivating about her. What if it's a tattoo on her wrist of Sanctuary Moon?
That's funny. Well, if her plan is to get around him, then that would work. Is to manipulate him? Yeah.
So does she know already
They
that
know.
she's...
I think she does. I think they know.
Okay.
I think because we're still in the stage that Murderbot doesn't know what he's up against.
Okay. So do you think the fact that they placed her as an aid bot is corporate just having like a predictive behavior model or something like that, where it's not his first time taking a injured minor?
I think that they knew he was going to be there and could be a potential obstacle to this assassination. Until she has the shot, they took precautions to make him not be a variable, such as your tattoo idea. They're trying to manipulate him. All right, you got your freedom, you got your autonomy. Let's mess with it. He wants to play human. Let's make him play human. I do kind of want him to get like a embarrassing tattoo now, like a Sanctuary Moon tramp stamp or a butt tattoo. That's not this episode, but it would be very funny.
That would be funny.
Right now, like, one question would be, what's stopping her from just directly assassinating the father, right? What if there's a piece of information that they need to get first before they assassinate the father?
Well, I would also just add that Murderbot is the next door neighbor. And she needs a clean shot. Because she gets one chance at it.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking that, okay, I can see.
I'm not opposed to your idea. I'm just saying that I think Murderbot being the neighbor by chance does slow down the operation. It's a good justifying mechanism is all.
It's a good point, though, because there are other instances. If he works on this, he works for the company, he's indentured, they could isolate him and kill him that way. We do need a reason why Murderbot has to be involved. I mean, are they trying to frame Murderbot? Are they...
The only thing I'm thinking is right now is, why doesn't she destroy just Murderbot right there? Since we kind of established that the mining facility is a little bit lawless from the teaser, you know, what's stopping just from like a casual brawl or altercation to happen, and like, you know, he accidentally got took out? Because, you know, we saw Murderbot in fights. Like, he's not the finest at it when it comes to... He could be hurt, right? So I'm just thinking, like, if it is a true CIA operation, like, there's got to be like a longer game.
I would just say that, like, they're going to want it to be quiet because there's already going to be a lot of attention on the strike. Like, I think news is around and things like that. That's why I think they're...
Well, that's why I say maybe they're trying to frame Murderbot. Like, she may have been sent there to assassinate, period. But, like, then they see Murderbot...
They released the footage or memory where Murderbot did the last mining shooting.
Yeah,
and then frame him.
Yeah, I mean, that's because we have to hook him in somehow, because it is a corporate operation. So in theory, they could just say he was acting out and then just murder him. But like, if they are trying to like frame Murderbot, then yeah, I think that
Yep.
and they release the footage, I think that makes sense to me.
Well, question next, Phil.
Yeah.
I see two routes. Do we send the kid and Murderbot on an adventure, or do we send the aid worker and Murderbot on an adventure? Because I have a pitch for the aid bot and Murderbot adventure.
Let's do the
aid.
Let's do the aid bot, because the reason for that is the kid is actually his salvation, but the mislead is that she is. Yeah. So I would rather do that.
Okay, so then I would pitch cave-in, that they have to go help with the cave-in. The others are in there, maybe even the union leader. That would be a big enough event that could get us into Act 2. And we can add other things like a couple scenes with the kid as well. Like, this doesn't...
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No.
Yeah, so there'll probably be a scene in between watching her be a good aid worker and then the cave-in. There'll probably be like one more scene in between there. He'd probably be... because you need a scene where he's processing these confusing feelings, I think. Which
Absolutely.
would be a very funny scene. And then when they're inside dealing with the cave-in, no cameras, perfect chance for her to take her shot in Act 3.
So here's the way that I kind of framed it is, she asks him, like, they have like a meet cute, they have a conversation, and they're like, and then she asks, like, you know, I mean, I could see if I could get you reassigned to do the aid and help me. And he goes, yes, that'd be great. And he goes, like, why did I do that? Because then it's like the girl that you like is like asking you to hang out, sort of deal.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Like, he could go to the kid for advice. The kid and the cat. He's talking to the cat. Although he'd probably, if we're true to the character, he'd probably watch Sanctuary Moon and then get interrupted by one of them. He'd process his feelings through an episode of Sanctuary Moon and then he would talk to someone on the outside trying to hide the conundrum.
Yeah, let's put that in Act 2. I think we're in Act 2 now.
How many acts are you doing this?
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, not 4, even though that is standard for comedies, but since this is an Apple TV Plus show, they probably wrote it in 3 acts.
Do we want the Sanctuary Moon clip to be reflecting on what's going on, or just something
I think
else?
so. It's about romance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would probably be about him processing his feelings. I mean, the easy play would be that robot lady love story, but I also feel like it'd be way funnier if one of the other characters are processing a love story. But again, that's the nitty gritty. We don't have to get into that now. But yeah, it would be reflective, and then he'd be interrupted by
I think by the kid, right?
slash space cat. Well, actually, it would be the kid, and then when he's done arguing with the kid over whatever, the space cat would do something funny. Still, if I could hop in, I think I have to pose a crossroads for you as the showrunner. So, like, we have our bit that is fun up between them of Sanctuary Moon, but I think a direction needs to be chosen. Like, are we having the child's primary conversation with Murderbot be about him warning him about like aid workers and talking to him about the town, or talking to him about love? Because I feel like we have to pick one or the other as far as
I think that we can do both. That's funny because that was actually what the pitch I was going to do. But then we had a conversation. Then we talked about the love between a man and a pussycat. I think that you have a scene with the kid and his parents and his dad. And I think that you just have that conversation there. That way you can do the hard work of like showing that the father is a labor leader. You can also have an adult talk about love and all of that. Like, and I think you do it that way.
Another funny element to add to that, because I love everything about that, he could also be learning about cooking. They could be having him cook with them.
That is funny. Yeah, that is funny.
You proved me wrong. You were able to get both.
He does it because he has to keep his cover. That's why I'm the showrunner.
Oh, that's really good. I was about to ask what his reasoning was, so great job, Phil. Does the dad ask him for help with the labor movement?
I think so. And we say like it's a fuller conversation as we go through the cooking and all of that. In this, for writers, that's in the writing. Like what we'd do is like we'd build out the scene, but since we're doing an outline, we're just kind of doing it like kind of a shorthand because we're not writing the script. It wouldn't be like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about love. Like it shouldn't be like that.
Further down the line, do you think the father is going to know that he's a bot, not a augmented human?
Dad's dying at the end of this episode, ain't he?
I thought so. But he could also still know that he's a robot. He could still know that he's a bot. I mean, I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's an interesting angle. Where do you see that going?
I think that would like also add, another emotional depth, let's say, to the relationship and bond, and to make also as to why this person becomes his favorite human being, him and the kid on this mining facility.
Because it makes the father smart. And I think that, like, that's a good reason for him to say, like, I don't know everything about robots, but, like, if you're feeling this, like, you should do it. Like, go for it. I like that.
If I can add for the dad, he can say something along the lines of, like, I don't care that you're a robot. I care that you're a worker. And you deserve a good life.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Woof. And I can see in one of the episodes, Murderbot says, I think I found my new favorite human.
Yeah, I like that.
At the very least, it's a tie. Okay. I like that a lot.
Okay. I think that they go on like an aid mission.
Visit sick people in the town, or do you... Oh, actually, that's very nice. That's actually better than the cabin idea. Oh, that's cute. They have a date.
And it could be really messed up, too.
Does he, get advice on, open the door, and then he doesn't remember until she's, right in front of the door. He jumps for the door, and, it gets all awkward. She's like, what are you doing?
I don't think that she interacts with the dad at this point. I think that,
Oh, no, I meant Murderbot gets advice from the dad on how to be on a date.
Yeah, I like that.
And so, he's trying to remember everything. He was like, that advice is stupid. I don't have feelings for anyone. And then he's still following the advice on the date.
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, we can extrapolate on that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think that they have an agreeing and an understanding, and I think the Murderbot sees that she is quote-unquote sentient from his perspective. And I feel like then it's like, oh, I'd love to, and we talk about the labor leader, and she's like, yeah, I'd love to meet him some sort of way, if that makes sense. Like that would be doing it that way.
Oh, that's good.
So questions about the aid bot real quick. So we know that she's rogue, or she doesn't have a government control system, or we don't know that. Or does he?
I don't know if we know that. I mean, I don't even know if that's the thing in this. She may just be an assassin. We don't know, but she has potential to break through. We that was a little mushy. We didn't really
Okay.
kind of land on that.
What is she doing that is so genuine or so surprising to him that, makes him fall in love with her?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we say. They have like some sort of understanding. Like that's the mutual understanding that they have. Like they could talk about Sanctuary Moon. They could talk about not understanding humans. They could talk about any of those sorts of things. We still need to nail that down, but that's like the thing, right?
I also like the idea of like she's very good at healing people and he can't do that.
Yeah.
If we are thinking that she's still programmed, aren't there moments where she's going to have to like cut off conversations because she needs to help some person or something like that?
No, because she's actually an assassin bot. So we don't know that. We don't know that she's programmed at this point. It's part of the psyop ostensibly. She's programmed to say whatever it is he wants her to say ostensibly.
You know what I think she does when she brings up the whole I'd love to meet him? She gives him one of these arm grabs.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. Yeah.
And he feels something. Okay, so what's going to be the big event that gets us out of Act 2? Because something big's going to happen, right? Do we go with my cave-in idea? Or do we do it whereas, like, he has to invite her to dinner at the dad's place? So I guess, are we going big adventure into Act 3, or is the journey more internal where he had to invite her to spend time with him?
I like them going to the dinner. And I like the idea of having an action scene in the house.
Murderbot has only one body to shield someone with. He's going to have to make a choice at that dinner. The dad or
that's
the
really
kid.
good. That's the stakes, yeah.
He has to pick. Okay, I like that. Yep, he asks her to dinner. That gets us to Act 3. Like, again, add a couple things. Like, he has to, instead of at the end of this date, like, he can have another convo with the kid, shenanigans with the cat. There are other things that can be done to fluff it up, but that gets us to Act 3. Okay. And this is our fight sequence, and I think we pretty much we got a pretty good idea going into this.
Murderbot is preparing dinner, and the kid is there.
Which one of them are correcting his mistakes, the dad or the kid?
I think the kid. Okay, I guess she arrives, right? I think they have dinner. I think they're having a conversation. I don't think she just comes in guns akimbo.
She asks about his cat. I don't have a cat. Then why is the cat here? I thought that we gave him a cat.
How does he act being flustered?
I think Control-Delete. I think he doesn't know what to do. This is a person that was not raised. He doesn't know how to handle feelings. My money would be on he tenses up.
Is there going to be a fluster moment or something? Like, are we going to...
Sure. What's your pitch?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's just, he put, I don't know, sugar instead of salt. I don't know. Cause like, what's funny about like, yes, he's cooking dinner.
Oh, that's funny
just,
because he's
only the humans are going to eat.
Yeah, exactly. Cause he doesn't know food tastes like. That's funny. Yeah. He mixes, we'll just say sugar with salt.
Something like that, just,
and says that he wishes he could say it's because he doesn't eat, but really, he's just flustered.
That could be a clue that she eats it, doesn't react because she can't taste it.
But wait, okay. Oh, so he still doesn't know that she's a bot.
No, he knows she's a.
Oh wait. Oh
no, we said that they know that she's a bot.
I forgot. You're right. I forgot.
He knows that she's a bot. Everyone knows.
That would have been cool, though, if they didn't.
Yes.
My idea would have worked if I hadn't forgotten that one thing.
I mean, there is a version of this. We'd have to go back and rewrite it, but like where she is a human and she's an aid worker, and it turns out she's a robot. That could also work too.
Yeah, I mean, but we got our idea. It's fine. Not every idea lands.
So I feel like they have the dinner and they're having the conversation and she's like talking and I feel like she's just trying to get him to say the right words, which is about his organizing, the dad I'm talking about. And like, that's it. That's all I needed because she can record the footage and she can record it anyway. She's a robot.
Yeah.
And then she like flips the table or something like that. It turns into a fight scene. And then I love what she said, Brian. Then it comes down to she's either going to kill the kid or she's going to kill the dad. And so Murderbot has to ends up choosing the kid. What do we think about that?
I agree. What's the thing that he's going to say? Do we want to figure that out later? But yeah, I think that gets us out of the show. I think that that's perfect. She gets away, and now he's left there with a bunch of pieces. We can even hint that they're dropping the video and framing Murderbot at the end.
Totally. So the dad says something about organizing, and then she uses that as an excuse to get rid of the dad. I don't know. I don't think she says
like
something I don't think that
vague,
Murderbot says secret words. No, I don't think that's it.
We'll go to any lengths for our workers. Like something like that. And then they can argue he was implying violence.
Yeah.
After the murder, I can see the monologue in his head. Like, I had one choice here. I could only save one person, and he chooses the kid. Right, in terms of the closure relation, because remember, he's in love with her, but she doesn't tell him anything. So Murderbot is in this heartbreak right now, and at the same time, he's trying to figure out, was that connection real or not? Why did she do that? But she never gave him that closure.
Yeah, no, I agree. We agree on that. Yeah, we just hadn't gotten to there. We just hadn't gotten to there in
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
we just hadn't gotten to there in the story. I think that's a great pitch. Yeah, I think so for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. I think we got this wrapped up nicely, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know more. I mean, we know why everything happened, but I think we designed it in a way to make it mysterious. Yeah, I think this works. We gave Murderbot a cat.
Yes.
He's probably going to become a father. He'll probably drop the kid off with the other parrot or something for the next season. How you feeling on this one, showrunner? You like this one?
I like it.
Is there anything that we're missing, I guess is what I meant. Sorry. I should have waited to set you up. I should have waited to tee you up.
No, it's a good tee up. Yeah, the only thing is, like, we'd have to change the cold open now. We'd have to finesse it and say, like, because the whole thing is him saying you have a broken heart and all of that. The broken heart is this part of it, but that's not a big enough issue for me to go back and adjust it. I do think that there's ways I do think that there's a way in the way that we have constructed
That's
it.
Tomorrow's problem.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's like for the writers out there, like, this is a thing where it's like, okay, we need to do that. And like, we could work on it if we had time, but if it's like midnight, we're not going to do that. And I'll say, like, that's dealer's choice. That's a term in writer's room, like dealer's choice. Like, when you hand the episode off to the person, you say, you can, go for it. Like, see how it feels, like, see how you like it, and like streamline it, because on some level you're never going to. They do room write the Chuck Lorre shows. Room write means everyone does it. But generally, on most shows, like, you just hand it off to the writer, and then it's the writer's job to, like, see any potential holes or flaws, because when we're doing it together, we're just trying to kind of, like, get a consensus. But I love it. I think it's great. I think it's really sweet. I think that it's in line with Murderbot. I think it makes it different. I like the kid. I like the cat. It's very Murderbot, and it has that sort of like twist at the end where you're still in this more dangerous world. I love the labor politics on it. I think I'm very pleased with it. Walker, thank you so much for joining us today. This was really great. I had a really great conversation. You're so great and amiable. Good luck on your move. Anything you want to plug? Any of your socials? Any of that?
No, I prefer organic over socials, but no, I do have socials. Just ARSAKR, whether it's a Blue Sky app or Instagram. I'm just going to say that this was I was very nervous before I did this, but you guys are fantastic hosts. And it's just like, I don't know, you, like, even though, it was just the vibe itself was very inviting. And I actually, I got sucked right in from the very beginning. I honestly think I'm going to envy everybody's future's first experience on the show, because, like, it's like almost, when that a person hasn't read Lord of the Rings and, like, they're about to read it and you're like, oh, I wish I was that person. So it's a great show. Looking forward to watching the continuing episodes.
There's a no sign outside of the stream, so we try to make this a pretty chill place. And by the way, we're only as good as the people we have on it. So thank you for being so great. I mean, you're pretty awesome yourself. So thank you, everybody. Do we have any announcements or anything like that, Brian?
No, but I'd also like to thank Sacker for being on the show. You were fantastic.
You're right. Sorry.
And thank you guys for being champions of unemployed,
the working
American
man
veteran,
and the unemployed.
Arab American veteran, pre-WJ or WJ writer, if Yusuf's included. So yeah.
No.
On behalf of the two people in the entire community, we thank you.
Absolutely. No, we're happy to have you. It really is our benefit and our joy. So thank you.
Yes.
And so without further ado, thank you, everybody, and pencils down.
Remember to put your notes and pitches in the comments, and we'll read our favorites on next week's show.
And hey, while you're at it, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Let's build this community together. Oh, also, the bell icon's there, so why don't you ring my bell so that you never miss any updates?
And the like button too, Phil. That's important.
Oh, right, yes. Thank you, Brian.